Hi, I'm Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new and maybe the title of this video made you click on it. Well, hello, and I just wanted to have a little discussion about Booktube, in particular how it changed my reading, probably negatively. And I want to start by saying I wouldn't be on Booktube if I didn't enjoy it, but there was certain aspects of it that just completely ruined my reading experience for me. So first of all, I want to talk about reading goals. So before I started Booktube, I basically used Goodreads to track which books I'd read. I never focused on numbers, I never focused on how many books I read, how many books I read in the week. Like, none of that was an issue for me. And then I found as soon as I started posting on Booktube, I was so focused on reading X amount of books a week so that I had content for people, and that would really negatively impact me because I would try to keep reading books that I wasn't enjoying just so I had some content to post. So if you don't know, I used to have a channel before this, and then I deleted my channel, and then I decided to start it back up again. So before, on my other channel, I was posting quite regularly. I used to do weekly vlogs every single week, and yeah, just focusing purely on numbers took the enjoyment away from reading. Like, it was always on my main focus, and I would look at my reading goal and I'd be like, oh, I'm behind, and then I'd get stressed. And that's not what reading's about. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's meant to impact your life positively, not negatively. So I really need to work on not focusing on the numbers game. It's for fun. For me personally, it's to wind down at the end of a busy day and sit and enjoy being in a different world, and reading things that give me enjoyment. And it's not about how many books you read. And sometimes I feel on Booktube that that's quite a focus, is how many books someone's read in a year, a week, a month, etc. And I feel like it really takes away from why you're reading books in the first place. Now, I do watch people that read a lot of books, and I'm not saying that's a negative thing at all. That's probably people's normal, but for me, on a personal level, it was a negative thing. Like, it just was not good for my reading at all. Another point that I found was that I was focusing on trying to read certain books that were popular, or finding myself influenced before I'd even read a book. So if I'm like scrolling through TikTok, and a lot of people love a certain book, I was trying to read them, and sometimes finding like maybe the genre wasn't for me, or the writing style wasn't for me, but everybody else loved this book, so what was wrong with me that I didn't enjoy this book? Or trying to put myself in a particular genre to be like, oh, I'm a historical fiction channel, I'm a thriller channel, fantasy, instead of just enjoying books because I enjoy them. Like, I read a lot of different genres, and that's okay. And I'm sure a lot of people read a lot of different genres, but I felt like I was trying to fit myself into this box so that I could be relevant to a certain type of reader, instead of just taking it for what it was. And that is, maybe this week I fancy reading a thriller, maybe next week I fancy reading a fantasy, but I was putting so much pressure on myself to be a particular type of channel, and that was not working for me. It just caused me so much stress, and if I didn't read a certain book if I didn't enjoy it, if I didn't read that whole series, say, in a year, I felt terrible about myself, and I'm just like, that's so stupid. It's to be enjoyed. It's not some sort of competition. It doesn't affect anybody else how I read or what I read. The only person I'm affecting is myself, and it's ridiculous. So now I have decided that I'm just going to read whatever I want to read on that week, and whether that is a different genre every type of week, that is fine. I don't have to fit into a typical type of box. Like, I am just going to enjoy what I enjoy, and I'm hopeful that people will enjoy that. And the other thing that I have found is negativity towards people, but I particularly see it more on TikTok, but it is on Booktube to an extent, of judging people for what they read, and judging people because they're not reading, say, classics all the time, or they're not reading poetry, or I feel like there's a lot of snobbery on Booktube and Book Talk. There is a lot of snobbery, and some people are looked down upon because they're into thrillers or they're into romantasy, and people think people aren't smart because they're not reading classics and they're not broadening their horizons and reading what they perceive to be books that are worthy. Now to that, and this may be controversial, I'm not sure, but I think that's nonsense, and I think we should be encouraging people to read whatever they want. At least they're reading. And I say this as a mother of 2 teenagers. I am happy if they pick up a book. I don't care if it's not a highbrow classic book. I don't care. As long as they're reading, it honestly does not bother me. And also, I'm just like, why does that affect you if someone enjoys that type of book? It doesn't affect you in any single way, and you shouldn't put down people because of what they read. You certainly shouldn't make out like they're not intellectual because of the books they read. It could be, for example, it could be someone is a doctor and they're at work all day dealing with the high stresses of that job, and they decide that they want to come home and they want to get into a fantasy world or a quick thriller that's not entirely highbrow, but they just want to escape. What is the problem with that? And why are we putting people down for enjoying what they enjoy? It just, I will never understand it. This is the hill I will die on, that we should not judge people for what they read. An entirely different topic is, of course, if they're reading people who are problematic and if they're promoting these authors. That's completely different, and I totally agree with people who have strong opinions on people reading books from problematic authors, and I would agree with you. But putting people down because of a whole genre type that they read is not the one, and we should be applauding people for picking up a book and reading. Maybe it's not the type of book that we would personally read, but is it affecting you? No. So that was another one that annoyed me. Not annoyed me, but I just feel like it's such a... book snobbery is always going to get my back up. I will never understand it. I will never understand people that put negative comments on people's pages because it's a type of book that they won't read. I will never understand it, and it just... But yeah, it affected my reading, because I was like, if I post saying I've enjoyed this genre, are people going to judge me and think I'm stupid because I'm reading something that they wouldn't read? And it genuinely did. It made me hold back from posting. I didn't post for a long time because I felt like I didn't fit in, and because I read all types of books. But I have discovered that the people that I watch do read a variety of books, and I really enjoy that. Like, I enjoy hearing people's different opinions, even if they don't like the books I like. I like hearing it. I like hearing their reasons for not enjoying certain books. And then the last thing was, I feel this isn't a Booktube problem, but it's more of a commenter's problem, and I've seen it a lot on TikTok, is judging people for using audiobooks. Audio is how I probably consume most of my books. I do read physically every single night. I do read, but I also use audiobooks a lot, and I don't think someone should be judged or put down for reading an audiobook. And it is reading. Yes, you're listening with your ears, but I would class it as reading. It's just a different way to consume books. And audiobooks are a wonderful way for people to be able to consume books that they may not necessarily otherwise be able to. They might have vision problems. Maybe they just can't retain information by reading it, but they feel like they can retain it by hearing it. People like the dramatised versions because they're dramatised versions. People like people putting on voices. For example, The Hobbit. Like, Andy Serkis, his narration is amazing, and yes, I could read the physical book, but I also want to hear him doing Gollum's voice. Is there anything wrong with that? No. So again, another hill I will die on, that reading audiobooks or listening to audiobooks is reading, and no one can convince me of that otherwise. But yes, this was just a few things that I found when I came to Booktube that I was actually really, really shocked that it affected me in any single way, because you think you're just going to start a channel and you're just going to read what you read and not be impacted by Booktube in any way. But then I was finding that it really did affect me, and I felt so silly and stupid for letting it affect me when I am a 30-odd-year-old woman who's just reading because I enjoy reading, and was posting because I wanted to share books that I enjoyed with other people as well. So my take from those points is, so this year I'm really going to work on not focusing on numbers, just enjoying reading because I enjoy reading and it is an escape. It's meant to be enjoyable. That I don't want to focus on, oh, I better read this book because I'm this behind on my goal. Like, I don't want that to be a focus this year. I don't want to focus on reading specific genres. I don't want to be so tunnel visioned that I'm like, I must read this book because it's super popular and I want to fit in with everybody and I want to read this book. I'm going to just look at a blurb, and if I fancy reading it, I fancy reading it. I do take a lot of recommendations from Booktube, and I'm not saying don't take recommendations from Booktube because I do, but I just don't want to like jump on hypes all the time and then be disappointed because they're not books that I'm enjoying. And that's okay, but if other people enjoy it, brilliant, I'm so happy for you. I don't want to get bogged down by the negativity. I don't want to judge people based on what they read, because at the end of the day we're all humans and we all like different things, and the world would be a very, very boring place if we all just liked the same thing. It would be so boring. So this is why reading is subjective. You might enjoy something that someone else might hate, and vice versa, and you know what? That's okay. It is okay to not enjoy the same things, but what's not okay is putting down other people because they don't enjoy what you enjoy, or they do enjoy something that you don't enjoy, and that is not okay. It's never okay, and it will never be okay on this channel to put down people purely for what they read. And audiobooks, I will continue to use audiobooks. I will continue to count them as books that I've read, and if people don't like that, then quite frankly I don't care. I don't care. I'm letting go of all negativity this year. I purely want to read for enjoyment. I did this last year. I didn't really focus on, oh, I've not read today, oh my goodness, I don't have anything to post. Spoiler alert, I did not post for a long time, but I just took a step back, and do you know what? I had the best reading year I'd ever had. I didn't go on TikTok all the time. That's another thing I'd recommend. If you are finding that you're getting influenced in a negative way and you're not enjoying it, just come off of that social media app. It's not worth it. If you're not enjoying it, if it's affecting you negatively, sack it off. That's what I'm saying more to this year. Say no, sack things off if I'm not enjoying them, and then hopefully I will have yet again another amazing reading year. And you know what, if I don't, I'm hopefully going to have some really good books that I've enjoyed, and that will make me happy. But anyway, thank you if you've got to the end of this video. And this rant, it's not a rant, it's just things that really did affect me, and I hope that doesn't affect other people. And just enjoy what you want to enjoy. Happy reading, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye bye.